The prayer today is, Mighty Lord, bless us in this late April. I pray that happiness is at your door. May it knock early, stay late, and leave the gift of God's peace, joy, and good health behind. Amen.
Amen.
Jerry, you want to start us out?
Yes. On April 20th, for financials, I approved a appropriations transfer from the Commissioner's miscellaneous other account for the encumbrance of a purchase order to pay the county's Corsa insurance renewal. On April 21st, for transit, I approved a medical leave without pay for up to 3 months for Rick Wolfert, part-time driver, beginning April 18th, 2021 through July 10th, 2021, end of payroll number 14. Accrued sick leave shall be exhausted before being placed on the unpaid status, and the employee may elect to substitute accrued vacation leave for any period of unpaid medical leave at any reasonable time during the leave of absence. For water resources, I accepted the resignation of Jerome Reynolds, electrician 2, to be effective May 1st, 2021, and granted permission to advertise for the position of electrician 2 internally for a period of 5 days, with applications accepted April 26, 2021 through 4:30 p.m. on April 30th, 2021. If no qualified candidate is found, and then externally until the position is filled. And on April 23rd, I approved for the Department of Development, Community and Economic, accepted the resignation of Gina Hofstetter, full-time program coordinator, to be effective April 30th, 2021.
Thank you, Jerry. Item number 3, the Commissioner's Office requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes of the meeting March 30th, 2021. Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes. Jerry, you can take archives.
For archives, this is just a slight increase to the contract with ShredRite. They had a little more shredding this year than they expected, so it's a request to increase the contract by $102.88.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Next 2 items deal with our Corsa insurance. The first part of it is the participation agreement with Corsa. That's a 3-year agreement that would start May 1st, 2021 through April 30th, 2024. And the second is this year's renewal and authorize the payment of $351,440 for that insurance.
I'll make the motion on both.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes. Number 7. Morning, Adrian.
Hey, Adrian.
Okay, today's financials include an appropriations transfer from the Commissioners into the miscellaneous debt payments transfers out account for upcoming debt payments. And among the encumbrances are a contract PO from the Commissioner's Office to Corsa for the 2021 property and liability insurance premium, and travel purchase orders from Common Pleas Court for the 2021 National Association of Drug Court Professionals Conference in Maryland. Among the vouchers are $1,872.34 from the Commissioner's Office to Donnelly's Independence Incorporated for pay request number 6 of County Office Building, and $23,000 from the Engineer's Office to the Talent War LLC for leadership keynote speaker and workshop training. And two revenue certifications, one from the Sheriff's Office in their concealed handgun licenses, and from the Commissioners in our airport construction fund for additional revenue to be received in 2021.
I'll make a motion on the financials.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
This one, Adrian, this here is here. Rick, how are you?
Great.
Good.
Morning again.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes, sir.
Asking that you approve an increase in our contribution to the ODOT grant for fiscal year 2021 to remove terrain. This will help us get our night approaches back once completed.
Yep, this just kind of summarizes what we were talking about, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago or last week?
Yeah.
I'll probably be here next week too.
Okay, yep, I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Have a good day. Good seeing you.
Good to see you guys.
That can include beyond next week,
Huh?
right? The grant approval beyond next week.
Yes, we had to do this today for the encumbrance in order to do get the grant certified.
I just want to make sure, before I told them the grant will be on next week.
Yes, no, we
You
had
guys
to do a
actually signed off
process.
on it.
Yes.
Morning.
Morning. This morning I have two resolutions to approve. These are for a couple of bridges that we're planning on doing the engineering and construction next year in 2022. The first one is for structure number BR 18-0.01.96. This is on Farmington Road. This bridge is near its end of service life, and we're planning to resurface Farmington Road the following year. So we're going to approach the bridge replacement a year ahead of time and then resurface following that.
Hey, Tim.
And the second one is a structure on Rolling Brook
Remember that?
Township Road, but the bridge is ours. We maintain the structure since it qualifies as a bridge. And it's actually in a failed state, so we're going to approach that early next year, pending these resolutions.
Sounds good. I'll make the motion on both of those.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
I'll abstain.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yes.
Point of reference, the first resolution does require a unanimous vote from the board. If I could
We'll start over.
engage on that
Okay.
one.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
That's part of the statute. Our two resolutions are, our first resolution is to approve, to do the bridge replacement on Farmington Road, structure BR 0018-01.96 in Parkland Township.
Mhm.
Item number 9 on the agenda, and then item number 10 on the agenda is to replace the Rolling Brook Drive Bridge structure BR 0578-00.03 in Bainbridge Township.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
Second?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeWart.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Appreciate
Is
it.
it, is that bridge longer than 10 feet?
It is. Yep.
And what is it now?
It's actually a triple barrel culvert, but because the culverts are touching or close proximity to each other, the span is over 10 feet.
Okay.
The structure that we're replacing it with is a 4x14 box. So
Cement-
it will
cement
remain,
box.
it will remain a bridge after we're done.
Okay. And what it's now, it's metal, right?
Yeah, 3 metal pipes and the bottoms are rotted out and the road's starting to move and time to,
Right. That's where they go?
Yeah.
The bottom.
okay?
Thank you.
Gentlemen, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.
Number 11, probate court, juvenile court.
Kim, do you want to explain your application?
Morning.
Good morning. It's just standard credit card application. This is going to replace the 2 Bank of America cards we used to have. Those were canceled by Bank of America last year because there were unpaid fees and late fees and stuff that were applied to it due to the issues we've been having with the auditor making timely payments. So we don't currently have a credit card for our travel, so we're going to be doing some travel this year now that things are kind of moving forward in the world after COVID. And so we just need some credit cards to be able to.
So do you think these will be paid for?
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Well, I can't predict what the auditor's going to do, but I sure hope so. I don't know.
So, is that account closed then, you said? The other
Yeah, Bank of
account?
America closed those 2 cards. We don't, they're no longer active. They
Mhm.
did not notify us last year.
Mhm.
We needed to make some travel arrangements, and so we went to use those cards, and, it just came up as, no account available, and so I.
Is there a
called the
balance
company.
due on that account, do you know?
There
Yeah,
were a couple $100s.
but is it, so it's probably still accruing late fees, I would imagine? or
I
no?
don't know what they do once they close the account. I don't know. I don't know if they send it to collections. They didn't tell me.
So it potentially could be affecting our credit, or the county's credit, I mean.
It
yeah.
could. It's the same.
I mean,
that
it's
we've
small,
been-
but,
Yeah, and we've been warning of this for 2 years, that we're having these issues. It could potentially affect the county's credit. This affected our ability to make travel arrangements for a conference that's coming up. So we just need to have some credit cards, and so that's what this application is for.
This application is through the credit union.
So how do you think they're gonna give you guys, extend you credit when you had bad credit with the other cards?
Well, we don't have bad credit, it's the county's credit.
Right, I'm saying, but how are they gonna, I mean, it would be like going to the bank to get a loan and you don't pay your other loan. How are you gonna give you another loan?
I don't know.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I absolutely follow what you're saying.
So what have you been doing right now? Have you been getting, like, using your own personal credit card and then getting reimbursed, or?
That's what ended up happening with this travel. Yeah, the 2 employees who were traveling had to use their own personal credit cards and had to apply for reimbursement.
Have they gotten reimbursed
Well,
on any other, like, or are those not being paid?
I don't remember if those have been submitted yet. We sent you guys a letter last week, I don't know if you received it.
Yeah.
I don't see them on this list, so they may not have been submitted yet. I'm not
Okay.
exactly sure on that one.
Do we have other credit cards that, the court could use instead of having to go out for application for more? Or, no?
No, it'd be individual.
Oh, because of the,
Yeah.
okay.
This is just the application to apply for the card through the credit union.
Mhm.
If they approve the cards, then they will have to come back before you
For amounts.
for the amount, and then for the approval for use for the auditor's office.
Okay. So when we go out for the credit card application, is there a dollar amount set or?
So what the credit union told me is we could specify a requested amount on the application, but they'll determine what the actual limit will end up being.
And-
And then when we come back to you,
Is there
The
a?
credit union board makes that
The
decision.
credit union board.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, my only uncomfortable position with this, and it's nothing to be taken, personal by the court or with all these games that have been going on, is we're basically, ruining our credibility with the banks and with these credit cards, because now what happens if you do apply and we get into the same situation, I mean, I don't like that. I mean, I want to be accountable. If these are our bills, we need to pay them.
yeah, and we 100% agree, and that's the argument that we're currently making in the Ohio Supreme Court, and we're looking at probably needing to file another mandamus action, which is the letter that we sent you guys last week, because we have a whole nother set of invoices that he's refusing to pay, and we agree.
New
New
ones
bills.
separate.
New ones that were submitted last week and the week before, yeah. And,
The same reasons or different reasons? Or,
it's kind of a hodgepodge. In the
Mhm.
letter I sent you, or Judge sent you, we attached communications that I've had back and forth with their office, and so you'll be able to see their argument, our argument.
Mhm.
It's all in there, but basically he said that we just have to file a mandamus action, that's the only recourse. So we are going to need outside counsel again, and since we already have somebody who's extremely.
I'll tell you right now,
familiar-
how much are we looking at for bills?
It's about 30,000. It's all in that letter.
Yeah,
There's a list.
I can
of
tell you
that.
right now, I'm not voting for any of that. You could count me out. We started that game long ago with that whole hiring attorneys. I'm just being perfectly clear. You guys need to figure out what's going on there, because I'm not approving I'm not voting yes
I would
on any of that,
honestly-
because
Commissioner,
how much
I
money
wish
are we gonna
could.
spend
I
throwing
wish we
money at
could.
this stuff?
I don't know. That's a question for the auditor, because he's the one that's forcing this.
Right,
He
I'm just
really
saying, if
is.
you guys,
And we've tried
as far as
mediation
for me, I'll
twice.
tell you right now, I'm gonna say no every
Okay,
time.
And that's your prerogative.
Because
You can do that.
this is just getting crazy.
No, we agree. 100% we agree.
It's crazy. Okay.
So is there a motion on the floor? Or?
If this is just an application, I'll make a motion.
second?
It's just Larry,
I,
Commissioner Lundman,
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Kim.
Economic development.
how you doing, Dave? Good.
Morning, hop along.
It's crazy.
It is.
Morning.
They could have another branch or-
Yeah, just last
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to delve
To
into it.
look
to see
into
what-
Morning.
Morning. So we're here to request permission to advertise for bids for the DDC clinic paving project, which is part of our PY 2019 CDBG grant program. It's to be held on Wednesday, the 26th of May,
Okay.
2020 at 2 p.m.
Explain this one to me, because I know we've been talking about this one for about 3 or 4 years, this DVC parking.
Yeah, this is actually the second phase.
Second
of
phase,
that.
okay.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
on the PY 17, we did the main parking lot. Now we're paving from the road up to the
Oh, I see.
facility. So
Very
it's a
good.
Second phase.
Okay, great.
So notice of this bid opening will be advertised on April 29th, 2021, and on the county website as well.
Perfect.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
That's good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Good stuff. Yep, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Morning, Roger.
Hey. How are you?
So, number 13 is the WENS agreement. This is the wireless emergency notification system that we use for 911 and the sheriff for all the first responders. We averaged, I believe, 680,000 pages last year.
Wow.
The cost of $19,350 has not increased in at least 8 years. And it's a three-way split between the sheriff, my office, and LPC.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's a good deal.
Yep, yep.
Thanks, Roger, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Yep, have a good day.
All right.
Can you stay? Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Joanne.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you?
Pretty good. Number 14 is just the state grant award. The first part of the year we've been going on CARES Act, so they're now awarding it from the 21, so there's $72,885 that they're wanting to give us for the rest of the year for operating expenses.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
All right, number 15 is the authorizing resolution. We want to apply again for the federal grants, state grants, Ohio Transit Partnership Program, which is OTP2. That's where we look for the 5 years to 10 years out on capital projects and put them as to what we're looking for. And some of them we get and some of them we don't, but we're trying to look farther out. Then there's also a Rights to Community Immunity. It's a new grant just for this year. It started out as being just to provide transportation to any client trying to go get a COVID vaccination. Now that the COVID vaccinations are slowing down, they're going to allow us to move it into giving medical trips until it's gone. So we'll be providing medical transportation of any sort. There won't be a guidelines as to what transportation I have to use that money. So we're trying to apply for that too to help offset the cost.
So it's slowing down because less people are going for them?
I think people are vaccinated.
Okay.
I mean, you know, a large majority that are vaccinated. I mean, I know
see.
the health department did that one in Burton, and that was a huge one. And we took, I don't know how many people, we did 2 different trips through there. I think there was 4 people, and there was 2 people that we took through there.
So you're taking them to the fairgrounds for vaccination?
Mhm.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, we've gone to the other places, but that one seemed to go real well, and they vaccinated a lot of people. So the demand is not coming through to me as much. I think people are being vaccinated, and we don't have people asking for transportation, but
trips,
just
okay.
vaccination.
All right, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon.
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good job.
Mr. Water Resources.
I mean, there's just balloons now. Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Morning, Steve.
So, department has 2 items on the agenda for today. First one, requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the request for partial payment number 5, contractor's estimate, and the OWDA fund payment request number 5 for Trax Construction Company for the Chardon project in the amount of $771,828.08.
Well, they're really coming along unbelievable over there.
Yeah, pretty much all the sewer collection system is done.
Yeah.
We have a couple houses at the end of, 4 houses at the end of the point we have to lay a line and.
Just amazing how clean it is too. Yeah,
They've done pretty well.
it really is.
What's the estimated, like the close date where there'll actually be everything done and
We're actually hoping in August.
Okay. So before Labor Day. Okay.
Yeah, those guys are not playing, it's just amazing.
Well, you know, they've been doing 4 10-hour days, and they've been targeting during good weather days.
Yeah.
But now with the weather getting better, they'll probably go back to 5-week. Yeah, it's pretty impressive how fast we've come along with it.
Yeah.
We have some items back ordered for the operations building and the filter system, so that might be one of the factors that slow us up. But August, ahead of schedule, we'll probably be
Yeah.
done.
So I'm just wondering, like with the on and off rain or snow, maybe that's the day that they take off.
Yeah.
They
will.
That's very good.
Yeah. Well, they've done a good job.
How are we in standing now with like the, the EPA, the court case, all that other stuff? I mean, are we?
So, you know, we went through all of
Yeah.
the assessment
Yeah.
and then the findings of the court. One requested that we do testing of each individual lot. And, we went back on that in the next week or the week after.
May
we have
11th is the oral arguments before the appeals court.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
We'll see what happens there.
Okay.
But we've been finding occasions as we've been going along, we've been testing them where, we run into the lines.
Mhm.
So we're starting
You're able
to
to-
create that documentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
If it winds up being, if the appeals court decides not to follow the orders.
I see.
Yeah, because we realize that the sewer line itself, it's a known unknown, right? We know it's out there, we just don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So we hit it every now and then.
Yeah.
And we take samples from it.
Okay.
And,
And you're able to trace that somewhat?
well, we can
or
take
not?
it somewhat, yes,
Yeah.
somewhat we
Yeah.
can, but it
Mhm.
verifies that there's widespread contamination.
I see.
Not just down
Not just
Wayne
one.
and Creek, it's split
Yeah.
back up towards Howard.
Yeah.
So, we have septic systems failing throughout that neighborhood.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but we're getting now people are very interested in when are we gonna repave the streets, which we're not.
Well, that wasn't in the bid.
No.
That's up to the township.
Right, and they just put that levy on the ballot for roads. I think they haven't had a roads levy in 20 years, and their number 2 priority is Henning, Howard, and all those roads.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
the township's tracking.
On top of it, yeah.
So we'll patch the road really well, but our concern is in another year, the patches will be fine, but the rest of the road won't be.
Mhm.
And then we discovered from Howard, if you're familiar with the neighborhood, from Howard on Henning, north on Henning to Route 6,
Mhm.
that road was built later, and it actually has no firm foundation.
Mm.
When we put the sewer in, we found that the road's collapsing and it really needs major work. So we have a meeting with the township, the contractors, my office on Thursday to go over how do we want to do this.
Mhm. Good.
So, we
On top
have
of
to
it,
work
yep.
with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll get figured out.
Expected, yeah.
I hope it gets figured out before we have to make decisions.
Do you have a count on how many
Thanks.
residents have hooked up?
No residents have hooked up yet. No one can hook up to the system until the county accepts it.
Until like August or so?
So
Right.
the plant needs to be up and running.
Got it.
And that'll be
Sewer
done.
line can be in, but if the plant's not up and running, we can't take service.
Right, and then we have to test all the lines and do final
Okay.
tests, and the county will finally accept it. There are a few things we have to do with the operations building and all that, but once that's all done, we accept it, we hope within a 6-month period. There are people ready to tie it now, but they can't, so we're just holding it back. The other issue is the assessments or how we're going to finagle the payment of the loan and all that.
Mhm.
But we're moving in the right direction.
Great.
So I'll make a motion on that.
Second.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
The next item, we're requesting the board to approve and execute the service contract agreement with Sunrise Springs Water Company to provide iron filter and water softener installation at the Auburn's Corner project location. We have a new well out there, as well as required maintenance and filter replacement at the Auburn Corners wastewater plant and our laboratory located at 13335 Aquila Road. for the department for a 3-year period in an amount not to exceed $14,000. $10,000 for 21, $2,000 for 22, and $2,000 for 23.
That seems reasonable. Just for manpower alone. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes. I didn't realize that Sunrise Springs did that type of service.
So, we've had them for quite a while. But yeah, they do have.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he does a great job.
Good
Morning.
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 Good job.
Number 18 and 19,
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm sorry.
Number 18 and 19 is regards to agreements with Sedgwick Claims Management Services Incorporated for our workers' compensation for the period of May 1st, 2021 through April 30th of 2022, in the amount of $10,350, and for Sedgwick Claim Management for unemployment services for the same time period in the amount of $1,205.
Okay. I'll make a motion on both of those.
Second.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
DeWort?
Yes.
Did we get any fraudulent claims in the county here? Yeah?
We've got a number of them. I don't remember what we're up to last 25, 30, something.
Like 50.
50.
Yeah.
But it has slowed down this last month.
Wow.
Whatever they're doing on that end, we're not getting near.
So what-
They did it on me. They did it on me.
They did.
I did mine.
Somebody-
mine also.
How were you able to find out? Or-
Well-
Through Sedgwick, when a person applies for unemployment, Sedgwick is our third-party administrator, so they notify
They're able to
me
catch it?
verify with
Okay.
the employer.
And then, so you're catching these as they're coming in?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and then I have fraudulent reports through JFS that I have to.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
50.
There's been,
I was thinking it was
how many of them
like,
have been actually paid out?
I don't know, 4 or 5, maybe at the very beginning, when it was all brand new.
That's- I remember hearing about
People
those.
didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
We've had the claims made, but there's only been 4 or 5 that have been
Right,
paid.
yeah, we haven't paid out.
So it's been,
But there's been millions of dollars in the state of Ohio unemployment fund
oh, yeah.
transferred out to
Across the
offshore
whole-
accounts.
The whole nation.
Right.
It's the whole.
18 million or maybe billion in California too.
great,
It's crazy.
great idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully they stopped whatever it was, flooding or their filter system, because they changed some things in their online application.
The scammers didn't let the catastrophe
They'll
of the
figure out
pandemic
another way to-
go to waste.
No, no.
Manipulate the system. It's a joke.
Okay, thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Thank you.
The next 3 items are the Girl Scout Gold Awards,
Oh, good.
Okay,
for the 3 girls out of 35 that were from Jogga County.
right.
So we have Mary Frances Mahoney,
Mm-hmm,
and we have Bridget Morgan, no relation,
mm-hmm.
and Dara Oya. I asked.
Yeah.
It's very close, my daughter, Bridget.
Yes.
But she's not old enough to, she's not old enough to get a gold.
You gotta take a double take there. Yeah,
So,
that's excellent. And we'll pass these along to them?
yes, I have
Yep.
to actually mail them to the organization in Streetsboro, and then they're doing a full presentation to all of the girls.
Oh, good.
I'll make
Did
a
you-
motion on all 4.
Okay, the last one is not in.
Or
is
3,
in
I'm sorry.
Class
Yep,
3,
yep.
so,
I'll second that.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes,
Commissioner DeWort?
Aye.
excellent. Thank you.
And then the last one is,
Last one is just the annual Public Employees Appreciation, May 3rd through May 7th. Public Service Recognition Week. That week, we did not do it last year because of all the fun we were dealing with at the time.
Okay,
I'll make that motion.
second.
Commissioner Spiller?
Aye.
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes. Okay.
That is all I have.
Very good.
Andy is gonna come down and get the room set up for you guys if you want to do your Zoom meeting
Okay,
For solid waste.
for solid waste.
okay. What time does that start?
Noon. Should be fairly quick.
Yeah, I
based
think-
on the agenda items that are.
Yeah.
That's maybe weak. Other than that, Jim, you got anything else?
No, I don't have anything.
Tim,
Nope.
motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public comment,
Sure.
any opportunity to speak?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I? Thank you. Yeah, I just attended the planning commission meeting, and there has been a lot of talk about NOACA over there. I just wanted to state that in every central element of anything I've seen from NOACA, and they say it immediately on everything they put out, equity, 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 particularly racial equity. Racial equity is a key marker for every piece of planning that NOACA does. What's meant by racial equity is the ratio of the races in a metropolitan planning organization, MPO, will be equal at all points throughout there. For example, Geauga County and East Cleveland, all right? There's nothing to do with race. It's all about trying to flip conservative areas into more, quite frankly, from Republican to Democrat by social engineering and injecting voters, okay? Keep this in mind, there are 93,000 people in Geauga County. In order to achieve racial equity, that means there need to be 93,000 more diverse people brought here. And they will live in high-density areas, in 14-story apartment buildings that will be built with our income taxes. And then the folks to man in those facilities to come and live there will be brought here and paid for with our property taxes. So that's the concept of racial equity. And that's a big monster that's coming down that pike to us, because they're well on the way. NOACA, by the way, is really the local implementation arm of the United Nations Agenda 21. I've spoken about that before. But I wanted to read just a couple lines here from the preamble to the United Nations Agenda 21. Private land ownership is a principal instrument of accumulation and concentration of wealth, and therefore contributes to social injustice. If unchecked, it may become a major obstacle in the planning and implementation of development schemes. All countries should establish as a matter of urgency a national policy on human settlements, embodying the distribution of population over the national territory. Public ownership or effective control of land in the public interest is the single most important means of achieving a more equitable distribution of the benefits of development. Governments must maintain full jurisdiction and exercise complete sovereignty over such land with a view to freely planning development of human settlements. Now, I know the NOACA electric vehicle charging station issue is before you fellows, you folks. I have Mr. Dvorak very kindly delivered that to my home, and I've taken the liberty to go through it and review it, and you can do as you wish with it, but these are my thoughts, which may or may not be of use to you. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. So, that's it.
Sign this stuff and that's it.
So 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Christie?
Yes.
All right. Good seeing you, Jim.